You've tried every productivity system, every morning routine, every discipline hack on the internet, and they work for about 3 days. Then you're back to scrolling at 2 a.m., hating yourself for being lazy again. But here's what no one tells you. You're not lazy. You're at war with yourself, and no one wins a war against themselves. Let me tell you about David, successful on paper, director at a tech company, gym membership, meal prep containers, the whole setup. Every Sunday night, he'd plan the perfect week. Wake up at 5 a.m., hit the gym, work on his side project. Monday, flawless. Tuesday, still good. Wednesday, he'd sleep through his alarm. By Friday, he'd be back to his old patterns, eating takeout at midnight, wondering what was wrong with him. He tried for 2 years. Same cycle, same collapse. Then one session, I asked him something different. What does discipline mean to you? He paused, then said, proof that I'm not the piece of shit I think I am. There it was. His discipline wasn't about building a better life. It was about escaping self-hatred. And you cannot hate yourself into wholeness. Most people think discipline fails because of lack of willpower. Too many distractions, bad habits, weak character. Wrong. Discipline fails because your nervous system sees it as a threat. When you grew up criticized, compared, or controlled, your brain learned something dangerous. Visibility equals pain. Success invites judgment. Consistency creates pressure to maintain standards you can't meet. So when you try to become disciplined, a part of you panics, not because you're broken, but because your system is protecting you from what once hurt you. Carl Jung called this the shadow, the part of you shaped by pain, rejection, and survival. Your shadow isn't trying to destroy you. It's trying to protect you using strategies that worked when you were younger. That's why you procrastinate right before a breakthrough, self-sabotage after a good streak, ghost people who believe in you, destroy momentum when things finally click. It's not weakness. It's a protection mechanism that's outdated. David's shadow believed that success meant more expectations, more ways to fail, more proof he wasn't enough. So every time he built momentum, his shadow would whisper, "Stop before they see you fail. Stop before you prove you're a fraud." And discipline would collapse every single time. The ancient Stoics understood something modern self-help forgot. You cannot command a mind you're at war with. Marcus Aurelius didn't journal about crushing it or dominating his day. He wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." Not hateful, strict. There's a difference. Discipline isn't about punishing yourself into compliance. It's about creating a relationship with yourself based on respect, not contempt. Here's what changed for David. We stopped treating discipline as a behavior problem. We treated it as a relationship problem. I asked him, "What part of you feels threatened when you're consistent?" At first, he didn't know. Then slowly, it surfaced. If I'm consistent, people will expect me to stay that way, and I know I'll eventually fail. So it's safer to fail early, on my terms, than to try and fail publicly later. That was his shadow speaking. Once he saw it clearly, everything shifted. He started asking different questions. What do I need today to feel steady? Instead of, what should I force myself to do? How can I support my system? Instead of, why am I so weak? What would respect look like here? Instead of, how do I punish myself into action? Within 2 months, he was more consistent than he'd ever been. Not through force, through clarity. True discipline isn't loud, it's quiet. It doesn't scream at you at 5 a.m. It whispers, We're doing this because we respect what we're building. It doesn't collapse after one bad day. Because it's not built on perfection. It's built on identity. When self-respect replaces self-hatred, discipline becomes inevitable. Not because you're stronger, because you're no longer fighting yourself. Discipline doesn't fail because you're weak. It fails because you're trying to build a life on a foundation of self-hatred. And nothing sustainable grows from that soil. You don't need more discipline. You need more honesty. You don't need to punish yourself. You need to understand yourself. Stop fighting the shadow. Integrate it. Because the version of you that can sustain discipline isn't the one that's harder. It's the one that's whole. This is shadow work. This is Stoic resilience. If this was helpful, subscribe for more.